Michigan law firm tries to keep Trump on 2024 ballot. Lansing, a Michigan law firm, is taking on a case of national importance, representing former President Donald J. Trump in a lawsuit filed Monday to keep him on the state's primary and general election ballots next year. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than David and Stephen Kallman filed the complaint October 30 in the Michigan Court of Claims, seeking to bar Secretary of State from disqualifying Trump, a Florida Republican, from presidential ballots, according to reporting from Bridge, Michigan. The move comes after a lawsuit was filed in the same court September 29 challenging Trump's eligibility to be on the 2024 ballot, citing a Civil War-era clause in the Constitution that disqualifies public officials who engaged in insurrection from holding office. The legal theory that Trump's actions could block him from holding future office has already spurred lawsuits in several states, and is separate from the pending criminal cases Trump is facing at the federal level and in 2 states, Bridge reported. Free Speech for People recently brought a similar suit in Minnesota, and a separate group's challenge is pending in Colorado, according to reporting from the New York Times. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than the Kallman attorneys contend the 14th Amendment does not apply to the president or candidates, and requires Congress to decide how it's enforced, not Michigan courts or officials. This court should enter a declaratory judgment confirming that the Secretary has no authority to refuse to place President Trump's name on the ballot and enter an injunction stopping her from doing so, David Kallman wrote in the Monday complaint. Kallman described the January 6 event as a riot, but said it was not an insurrection, as the 14th Amendment prescribes, and did not amount to levying war against the United States. Even if it did, he argued, Trump did not engage in that war by failing to stop his supporters. Benson, a Democrat elected to a second term in 2022, announced September 13 she doesn't plan to keep Trump off the Michigan ballot unless directed to do so by a court, according to the Detroit Free Press. More. Benson, I won't keep Trump off ballot unless courts say so. Michigan election law does not empower the Secretary of State to unilaterally determine a presidential candidate ineligible for the presidential primary or general election, state attorneys for Benson wrote in an October 16 filing. Kallman Legal Group made headlines earlier this year when it was hired during a controversial January 3 meeting in Ottawa County as corporate counsel earlier this year, after the county board fired the previous long-term corporation counsel with no debate and no request for proposals from outside firms. KLG is currently representing the county in 4 lawsuits filed against the OI majority in 2023. Last week, the Sentinel reported KLG waited months to place a litigation hold on essential documents in at least 2 of those 4 pending lawsuits. KLG also filed a federal lawsuit against Michigan on September 28, representing 11 state Republican lawmakers who claim 2 separate voter-approved constitutional amendments in 2018 and 2022 violate legislators' civil rights. The lawsuit argues Proposal 3 of 2018 and Proposal 2 of 2022 are an unconstitutional usurpation of state legislators' rights to participate in lawmaking decisions under the Elections Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than. Sarah Leach is executive editor of the Holland Sentinel. Contact her at sarah.leach@hollandsentinel.com. Follow her on Twitter at sentinelleach.